Okay, so here's a bit of a basic template that I've put together for you guys to download and duplicate your own copy to your Notion dashboard. So there should be a link below the video in the notes, and if you click on that, it should open this up, and then it should be like a little duplicate button somewhere around the top right where you can copy it down to your dashboard already. Unless, of course, you have downloaded the initial trading dashboard version that may actually have this already included in that part of the section. If this is here, then yeah, you don't need to worry about kind of re-downloading that and duplicating that copy, as it should be there for you already. In the next lesson, we're going to go through sort of a beginning trading system. So all of this will make a lot more sense in a bit when we actually go through that. This is really just to give this to you now before we go through that lesson. Just so you have it. So yeah, it's really basic, right? This is your trading plan section. This will essentially be your trading plan document where you can go in here, just put a little reference there, put whatever there, something to motivate you, whatever works for you. And then we kind of have these sections here, which, like I said, we'll go through that in the next module. But essentially, this is where you can put in your steps, and then you can essentially tick them off, and I'll do like a strike through for each time you are looking to potentially execute a trade. You've got your trade management there, your risk management. Now here we have these kind of toggle lists. So again, we'll go through this in the next lesson, but this is essentially where you can put in your sort of full process for how you map and analyze your charts each time you go on there. So obviously I've just put an example in here, but go in there and change that and do what works for you. And then we have these two sections here. So entry models, and then basically high probability examples. So essentially all that means is this is where you can put in some kind of diagrams, or sort of, diagrams you've annotated and you've drawn that kind of explain the theory behind the setups that you're looking for. So you can, if you have multiple different models that have potentially slightly different variations, for example, maybe you trade risk entries for one setup, maybe you trade confirmation entries for another one, maybe on one confirmation entry, you put in that sort of liquidity sweep model, another one, maybe you're happy to trade without seeing liquidity sweeps, for example, something like that. Or you may want to separate out, when you'll take a flip zone setup and when you're happy to take just a structure zone if there is no flip. So you can just kind of put in slightly different variations there if you want, or keep it simple with kind of just one general model. And then here's just when you can put in a few high probability examples. So it's just screenshots of trades that you have found that line up. Now this bit here where we're putting in kind of examples, we'll get into that in a little bit more detail when we get into the next module on testing, where you start to collect trade examples based on your plan. So obviously you won't be building this straight away, but obviously as we go through, you'll start to fill all of this out. And then whenever you see this, basically if you just click on that, it should just pre-populate another imaged box there for you to use. And I'll just chuck some nice quotes down here where again you can just put in some stuff there that can potentially help with your psychology if you want to, or yeah, just get rid of this. Get rid of it all, delete it all if you want, and keep it nice and simple. Another thing as well, if you hadn't kind of already realized, if you click these three dots up here, it does give you a bit more customization for your Notion documents. You can change the text, you can make it a little bit smaller, you can do full width, this can be really useful when you've got images, obviously a bit further down, as it can expand them nice and wide for you to see. And yeah, you can play around with that. So that's pretty much the basic trade plan. As always with anything like this, don't just take mine, always be looking for how can I improve it, how can I make it better, how can I make it into something that's unique to me. And of course, please feel free to share that in the community, as other people may benefit from what you've done and the work you've put in on that. And then if I just go back out to the trading dashboard again, the other setup that you will see in here is the other page, I should say, that you'll see in here is called setups. So this is essentially where potentially you have those multiple entry models with those slightly different variations or nuances to each model. You can click in here. Again, this is where you'll have that diagram. You may want to put in your kind of specific confluence that you're looking for within here, kind of bullet point that for the specific entry model. Have your annotated diagram there, and then this is where you can then just basically have a collection that you will grow over time of different variations of those examples in the live market, right? Reality or realistic trade examples that are basically all based on that entry model. Of course, if you've got multiple, then you can start to build those out. So again, this is something, collecting these examples and building out different models that will come with time, especially as we start to look at testing in the next module. But yeah, that kind of just wraps it up for now. Just wanted to get these templates out to you guys within the trading plan section, for you to just kind of use as a starting point. But yeah, all of this will make a lot more sense as we go through this in the next video. Enjoy.